Welcome to Storytime with the Intimacy Ally. Each episode will tear down a myth, kick a social norm in the beanbag, gut punch a sex ed untruth, or destroy a poorly constructed relationship expectation. Get ready to unlearn all the crap you accepted as fact. Strap in for a mind-blowing revision on what sex is and what it can do. Prepare yourself for a whole new thought pattern when it comes to modern relationships. And now, here's your host, Jeni Simas, the Intimacy Ally, relationship expert and certified sex and intimacy coach.
Hello, my lovelies. I want to start this episode by apologizing for not putting out an episode last week. Life got in the way. I was trying to finish an assignment for grad school, which I just started, and planning and putting on a Hanukkah party and having to do hours and hours long doctor visits for me and my kids. And something had to go by the wayside, and it was this episode. So I apologize, but also I'm human as fuck. So I don't know what else to tell you on that one. I am going to try really, really hard to get to the point where I plan things out and that doesn't happen again. That's all I can do. So again, so sorry if you are, planning your calendar by me putting out an episode, which I highly doubt, but just in case. Apologizing for life and kids getting in the way kind of leads me into today's episode, which is I want to challenge some dating myths. I am putting together this Making Online Dating Magical course, and I'm getting a lot of feedback from the people who I'm interviewing in order to come up with what the fuck people actually want to know. And one of the things that came up for me was the myth that no one wants to date chicks in their 40s with kids. Ooh, ouch. Just want to let you know, utter bullshit. Like most of the things that we talk about on here. So I'm going to give you a little bit of my personal backstory. You might have read about it in Newsweek. I will link the article in the show notes. But quite basically, I was celebrating my 40.1 birthday. I turned 40 in 2020. So it was kind of a shit show. There was this second round of COVID that was coming on the scene, and it was making everybody go back into isolation. So I had my 40th birthday when I would have had my 41st. And it meant going out and doing karaoke with the few friends that did make it out, which was awesome. And then I had gotten myself a hotel room because my kids were being watched at the house by glorious sitters that I had who made coffee and everything the next morning and had folded laundry while they were watching my kids. Amazing. But more to the point, I had gone out for this birthday party. There had been a couple missteps and, men in my life. We'll talk about that another day. I went to bed that night alone in my hotel room as planned. And when I got home, I was like, okay, this is it. I guess I'm ready to date now. So I jumped on the interwebs and was just kind of Googling what dating apps were out there. And I found one that I thought seemed pretty cool. So I got on there and made a profile. I did the free, trial to start. I think I did end up paying for the premium account, but that was after a few weeks of weirdness. So we'll get to that. So this is like December 8th, I guess, of 2021. And I was on for a few weeks and basically just, kind of getting dick pics and a lot of people who seemed like they were just out for, like, are you DTF? Just trying to hook up. Really wanted to show me their dicks and wanted me to show them my tits. And don't get me wrong, mama was drinking and that happened sometimes. Uh, so went through that for about a month and was thinking about deleting the app because I was absolutely buying into this fear that I had created for myself, but also is very societally enforced, that no one wants to date women over 40 with kids. And in my case, I have a kid with intensive special needs. I have a kid with intensive special needs. I have another kid who is an overachiever, what have you. Like, that doesn't really have to play into this very much, but I'm just putting it out there. Like, the scales are definitely balanced in this house and everybody is full of love. So I don't want you to like feel sorry for me or my kids. They're both thriving and amazing. I was and still am categorized as obese. Um, I fucking hate the way that we look at weight in this country. Episode for another day. I am short and graying and not all that spectacular. All of these things are going through your mind when you're on these fucking apps and you're not getting the response that you had hoped. Like, you're constantly getting paired with people who don't interest you, or you're not getting any hits at all. And I don't even know which is worse at this point. Like, would it be better if you weren't getting the responses, or is it better that the algorithm just keeps sending you people who are just not up your alley? So I was thinking about deleting the app. I hadn't looked at it for a few days. I was really over this, I don't know, sexting and just fucking like Snapchat videos back and forth. It just really wasn't my speed. So I decided, okay, I'll, look through a couple more days and then if nothing else happens, then I won't renew it. Because I had by that point gone ahead and done the premium. Woo, premium. It didn't change shit for me. So if you're getting into this and you're just starting and, you know, there's an option to do it free or start somewhere that like you're already on, like Facebook dating. I've heard people have amazing success with Facebook dating. um Anywho, I ended up scrolling past this one guy because he had pictures, or his main picture was him like at the top of a mountain. And my ex, whenever we would go hiking, would be like super critical, like, why can't you keep up? And oh, by the by, like, also physically, I have a drop foot. And like, so that means like nerve damage. Like, I can't lift my left foot. It's from an injury that I was born with, that then I had surgery. And when they went to correct it, they pinched my nerve and then my foot don't work. So hiking is not an easy thing for me. And I was told over and over again how shitty I was at it. So this dude is at the top of a mountain. First thing is like, I love being in the woods. And I was like, fuck you, guy. You out of your damn mind. Why do you keep popping back up in my shit? And then he did again. And he was really hot. Like, I don't know if you've seen the show Vikings, but I watched it religiously. So think Bjorn Ironside, like late stage Bjorn Ironside. The beard, everything, the height, the thickness of Bjorn Ironside. Yeah. That's what he looked like. And I decided to give him a shot. So we texted for a little bit on the app, went off the app texting, and I was like walking around Costco and he was at work and I kept like misunderstanding the things that he was saying. Like he said that he worked on tractor trailers and I was like, "Oh, that's awesome because I'm not really looking for a big commitment. So if you're like gone a lot, that'll be cool." And he was like, no, 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 no. Like I work on them. Like I repair them. I don't drive them. And I was like, oh, sorry. Um, there was a lot of back and forth misconceptions. And I found out that, pretty early on that he was 25 and I was 41. And he had no kids, and I had two kids, like I said, one with intensive special needs. And I just couldn't believe that he would want anything serious to do with me. So I just figured that, all right, well, maybe he'll be somebody that I can have fun with. Maybe we'll go on a couple of dates, and then he'll be like, whoa, this is way too serious. Fuck you. That did not happen. And we are about to be 2 years into this together. And we have been living together for the majority of that. If you are watching on video, these beautiful pictures are ones that he has taken in nature. So just letting you know, he's pretty awesome. I took a chance on someone who traditionally, I think people would assume would not want to date a woman over 40 with two kids. And what I found out was he is not actually a rarity. I love him deeply. Zachary, I love you. And I think he's incredibly unique for other things, but not for that. So this societal myth that women in their 40s with kids can't find love on the internet is total bullshit. And if someone tries to convince you that you shouldn't be looking or that you're not really like what men are looking for on the internet, I want you to direct them to my website, my Newsweek article, my podcast, or you can give them my email, whatever you want that would empower you to say, go fuck yourself. Being over 40 and having children is a sign of two things. You are over 40 and you have children. It is not an indicator of how dateable you are. It is not an indicator of your worth as a potential partner. It is not an indicator of your hotness level, of your interesting level, of your desirability level. No, it is not a fucking indicator for any of those things. It is a fucking lie that you have been fed. You are just as viable a dating option as a 22-year-old who's fresh out of college, as a 35-year-old who's getting their doctorate, as a 26-year-old who's bartending, as a 34-year-old who's, directing movies. I don't know. Like, I want you to understand that your age and parental status affect you only as much as you allow them to. Do you think that men are getting on these websites thinking, oh, I'm 45 and I've got 4 kids. Who's going to want to date me? Fuck no. They absolutely are not. I mean, I have seen a lot of dudes who are utter garbage, who are dads, get date after date after date, or girlfriend after girlfriend after girlfriend. Now, I don't know what goes wrong. Well, I mean, I kind of know what goes wrong, but they manage to get back up and get on that horse and successfully engage with people over and over and over again on dating apps. So if those sleazebags can do it, so can you. You're a fucking unicorn. You're out there working. You're out there being at home with your kids, if that's your jam. You are out there doing and thriving, and you're growing as a person. You're probably like in therapy or in groups or in fitness classes. In some way, you are working on you all the time because you just want to be a better human. And at the same time, you are raising people that you want to be good humans. So if having a partner in that, if having a romantic partner to share that with is important to you, if that, registers real high on your list of things that you want, or when you see yourself in 3, 5, 10 years, if you're not alone, you want that person with you, by all fucking means, get on those apps. Loud and proud say, yep, I am a mom. But guess what? I'm also an artist. I'm also a successful banker. I am also a person who goes to the gym every day. I am also a person who writes. I am also a person who believes and who has faith. Figure out what the things are about you that you think are the most engaging and add that in. Because you being a mom is kick-ass. You literally grew a human, or you found it in your heart to take in a human, and you are trying to make them into a good person. So go ahead and pat yourself on the back. Understand that it does not eliminate you from the dating pool, and go ahead and get on them fucking apps. And if you want to know more about exactly how I did it, and you want to get some guidance on which apps might work best, or what rituals you might want to do to like pump yourself up, or the different ideas that we can go through about what it takes to rise above on the dating apps, then go ahead and email me or go to my website and sign up on the wait list for the Making Online Dating Magical course. In the meantime, once again, I am so, so sorry for missing last week, and I am going to do my damnedest to not do it again. I want all of you to have excellent weeks. I want you to be kind. I want you to stay curious. And remember that I am here to help you have the best sex and the best lives that you possibly can.
Thank you for tuning in to Storytime with the Intimacy Ally. We hope you learned a bit more about putting the fire back in your romantic relationships, exploring communication and emotional readiness in all relationships, and how to expand your definition of intimacy so you can reach your relationship goals. Go to theintimacyally.com to subscribe and never miss an episode. Follow the links in the show notes to social media and events. Till next time, keep on learning, growing, and thinking. Storytime with the Intimacy Ally podcast is meant for educational and entertainment purposes only and should not be considered as health or mental health advice.